Well, hello again everyone and welcome back to another airbrushing video. I've got myself a nice steel blank. It's been sprayed with aerosol car paint into black, and I'm just going to begin by giving it a little bit of a rough up with some red Scotch-Brite. Yeah, there you go, just enough to take the shine off a bit. Well, what I'm going to attempt to do is a little bit of this sort of monster dragon eye sort of design, and I'm going to begin by just making up a stencil just for these sharp bits. Yeah, probably not much more than that, and yeah, bring them in green, I guess. Now we're back to my favourite thing of working on steel plate. So I'm going to be able to use the acetate as my sort of template and hold it onto the steel with the magnet. So we're going to have none of those issues that we had with tape and stuff when we did that toy box painting. Right, now let's get it put on the blank with the magnets. Right, now I'm going to mix up a suitable green and spray that in. So I've sprayed over with sort of very faint green, almost white first, then gone in with the green that I've mixed up and just sprayed upwards to sort of leave that whitish border at the top. Now I'm going to make up some black and just go very slightly over on the bottom sections to give that shadow. I'm going to go in with that pale white again, just over the very tops of those scales. So there you go, there is our start of the scales around the eye. Now what I'm going to do next is bring in just these little shapes here. Now I'm going to add them to my existing shield because I don't think it'll really matter, but first I've just got to clean off this paint so I can see where I'm going. Well, there we go. That's as far as I've got it tonight, I think. It's getting quite late, a little bit tired, so think I'll call it a day there, and perhaps we'll get back to this tomorrow night. Well, hello again everyone. It is indeed the next evening. You'll have to excuse a little bit of background noise. I've got the washing machine going in here, so hopefully that's not too intrusive. But I think what we need to do now is add in the, start adding in some of the detail of the eye. So I've got myself my reference and another sheet of acetate. I'm just going to trace round sort of the body of the red bit. Obviously we've got a couple of bits here at either end which remain black, just with some detail on. There's sort of skinny bits in the corners of your eye, and it doesn't quite come up to either part of the eyelid except for in the very middle here. So yeah, I'm gonna mark around that. I'll mark some of the outlines of the top and bottom scales just to give me a bit of a reference as where to position it as well. Right, so now the thing is going to be very much to add in some clean white. So I'm going to mix up some plain white and just go in where this red is. I'm going to keep the white stronger where the red is stronger. I'm not going to worry anything about the pupil at the moment. I'm just going to go over the whole thing. So yeah, let's do that. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is mix up some candy red and yeah, spray over that. Now that was looking just a little bit too cherry red for me, so I've gone over it again with some white. I didn't bother cleaning the airbrush too much because I wanted to leave it a little bit pinky, the white. So I've gone over it a little bit again in the white, hit the high spots. And I'm going to go now and get some orange candy, and we'll just go over it with the orange candy. Now that's done, I've added some more highlights, and I'm going to pick them up in the candy yellow. So I've got quite a nice effect there with the candies bleeding into each other, but what I want now is to get a nice defined piece of candy yellow. So I'm going to give it a quick coat of clear just to stop that bleed through when I do it again, to get that more defined yellow area. Right, well now I need a very sharply defined black area for the pupil, so I'm thinking I can use this part that I cut out of the previous bit of acetate to do that, and then that'll fill that hole nicely and we can spray it in black. So yeah, let's cut that out. Now while I've got the black in the brush, there's a few edges I want to soften with the black, just so it looks more like a shadow of it. I don't need some of these sharp edges here. And I want to fade this out a little bit more so it looks much more like it's coming out of the darkness. So yeah, let's do that now. Right, now I need to add just a little bit of detail on these skin wrinkles. So I'm going to mix up some white just with a little tiny touch of that orange candy in it, and touch in just a little bit to give the idea of that being wrinkly skin. Now I've also just added a few more little skin knobbly bits just to define the eye opening a little bit more. And now I'm just going to add, we'll get some white in the airbrush and add the hot point highlights in. I seem to be talking absolute nonsense today, but hopefully you get the idea. Now there is, on the original, a little sort of misty area, but it's quite defined. So I'm going to cut out the shape of that as a bit of a template on some acetate, and just very, very lightly spray a tiny bit of that white on. Right, I think I'm relatively happy with that. I'm going to now give it a coat of UVLS clear just to protect it.